report on Michael?
Yeah, I mean, obviously very excited to get him. A player that, we certainly saw a lot of over the year. I think, a big adjustment for, 17, 18-year-old, kid going in and playing in the Allsvenskan. I think, there was a bit of an adjustment, period for him. And then probably, after World Juniors, he started, he had a very strong World Juniors for Norway. And then kind of came back, probably got a little bit more of his confidence by scoring and putting the puck in the net, and kind of had a real strong second half, and then very good playoff, which is something that you love to hear at that time when you have a potential prospect step up and produce in the playoffs, which he did. I think it was just under a point per game for them, and obviously went into the World Championships, as 18, 19-year-old, which is very impressive to go in and to be able to do that, and played on the top line and was playing against some real good competition, and was able to score. And obviously we saw, I'm sure you guys all saw the goals that he scored and the shot that he has and the size and strength. So with the opportunity to select him, we were very excited to add him to the organization.
How much was the appeal of his size and how much he plays with it at both ends of the ice?
A lot. I think we want to have competitive hockey players, that can obviously think the game. We think he brings a physical presence, big, strong kid. Certainly doesn't back down of getting in the corners, getting in on the forecheck, finishing checks, gets around the hard areas. I was at an exhibition game in Riga. They were playing Latvia, and it was an incredible environment to watch that game. And he was he was one of the guys that was driving Team Norway, which was great to see. So all the things that we just talked about, the intangibles that he brings, and he's and there's room to grow. He's, I think, 207, 208, and you easily think that he's going to be able to play at 215, 220 to be a big, strong kid. So a lot of stuff to like with that.
How important was that playoff scoring to what you guys saw him, to know that he could produce in that kind of game, that kind of pressure?
I think you want to see that. I think you always talk about regular season, a guy scoring in the regular season, and then it's like, okay, when the games get tighter and the games get more important and they get bigger, you want to see, what's he going to do then? And, obviously, Michael responded by, putting in some good numbers and scoring some big goals for that team. So, that's the exciting thing. You want, you want to go and watch these guys, play well, compete and score, all season long. But, come playoff time when they can do that and have the ability to do that, and that's what he did. It's great to see.
He talked about Zuccarello being his hero and his icon, and that he plays on the same line where he met the world. But yet, it didn't impact him. He wasn't overwhelmed by that moment. Like, is that something that you look at too? That when they're on
I think all these kids are like that.
They get on the big stage, when they get on the ice, it's till game time, and that goes out the window.
Exactly. I think for a young hockey player growing up in Norway and seeing the success that Zuccarello had, and all of a sudden you're throwing on the Norwegian national jersey and a chance to play with probably some of you idolized growing up is pretty special, no matter what country you're in. And the thing that we liked when we saw that is Zuccarello is he's a smart hockey player, and Michael was able to kind of read off that and make some plays, get open, knew how to get open, and a couple times the puck's on his stick, and before you know it's off the stick and in the back of the net. So that's good. You want to see a goal scorer that can score goals, but also someone that has the smarts and the hockey sense to be able to get open and find those passing lanes to get the shot off. And I think that was what he was able to do, playing with a real good player in Zuccarello.
Did you talk to him at all about, he gets to be the first player from his country taken in the first round? That's a pretty cool thing. Did you talk to him at all about that?
Haven't had a chance.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a quick encounter up top.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest job that I had tonight was introducing Nick Lidstrom, make sure that I got, all his accolades. Nick told me I forgot to mention the gold medal that he won for Sweden. So, obviously, we'll, looking forward to meeting the family. His mom and dad are, up top. So, we'll be able to meet them. But it's, I mean, obviously a huge honor for him and something that, you know, is well deserved. He put himself in that opportunity, and, you know, that's a credit to him.
This is part like of the whole, after you draft a kid, you get to know the family and everything. Like, what's that kind of like, what will this evening like be like when you talk to them and you get to know kind of more about him now that you actually drafted him?
Yeah, it's nice, you know, just to find out, and obviously, you know, I was kind of glad that, you know, you get to be able to select somebody, kind of make a little history for, you know, for their country, to draft somebody, you know, that grew up and their dream was to play in the National Hockey League, and here they are, you know, growing up in Norway and now, you know, on a big stage in Vegas and being selected from the Detroit Red Wings. But we had a great combine interview with them throughout the year. I actually met him in Mora. You know, kind of had a coffee with them, you know, before the morning of before one of the games, and you know, just you know, a real solid kid. You know, so now it'll be, you know, nice to be able to meet the family, and you know, it's no surprise that, you know, when you talk to Michael, he's a good kid, and obviously, you know, sounds like he comes from a good family. So look forward to meeting them as well.
It's been almost a year to the date since you were promoted within the organization. How have you enjoyed the responsibilities that you've been handling the last year?
It's been, you know, it's been great. You know, I think anytime, you know, you have, you know, somebody like Steve Yzerman promoting you, it's obviously makes it pretty special. And, you know, for me, I just, you know, obviously the passion that I have for the Detroit Red Wing organization, and, you know, where we want to go, and to be able to be a part of it, you know, with Stevie is something pretty special. And, you know, I still, you know, obviously my role is, you know, running the draft, and, you know, it's something that I take a lot of pride in for this organization. And it's nice to, you know, to have the trust in Stevie to go out and do that and kind of scout all over the world and you know, look for players and try to find players. So, you know, something that, you know, certainly proud of.
I'm curious, when you have a player who seems to fit, you know, everything you need, how confident are you as you get closer to where you select that the other teams aren't going to snatch him? Like, do you have a pretty solid idea of, you know?
You don't, and I think this year especially,
Yeah.
I think, you know, that was probably talked about the most this year, as everyone kind of, you know, Celebrini was a lock. He was going number one. Everyone knew that, and kind of people started talking, all right, the draft starts at 2, and away, you know, and away it went, and it kind of did. And, you know, you don't know what other teams are going to do. You go into the rink and you see all, you know, 32 teams that are there as well, watching the same players, and, you know, really it just comes down to, you know, how they put their list together and where the players fall, and if somebody they like drops, maybe, you know, they kind of jump in and take that player. So you just never know. You know, you just have to basically, you put a list together, and from there it's as names are kind of, you know, being called off, you're checking them off the list, and away you go. And that's exactly, you know, what we do. And Michael is somebody that, you know, we were obviously very excited to get, you know, and like I said, just add him to, you know, the prospect pool, and we think that, you know, he certainly checks a lot of the boxes that, you know, that we covet in a prospect, and excited to have him.
Seems like you guys have had kind of competitiveness and two-way play as big emphases on, you know, the last 4 or 5 years. Do you guys just view that as a trait that you just kind of can't have too much of, kind of thing?
Yeah, and I mean, I think, you know, obviously hockey sense is something that, you know, you throw in the mix as well. But, I mean, I just, you know, watched an incredible playoff run for 2 months, and you see how hard these games get, you know, and how little room there is. And, you know, so you need those players that are smart, competitive, you know, that can skate and play in the hard areas. And, you know, that's what we want to target. I mean, it's, you know, we don't have the luxury of picking first overall and getting that superstar that, you know, that everyone wants to add. That's not what we have. So we have, you know, a Red Wing DNA and a type of prospect that we watch. And, you know, that's what we want to continue to bring into to the organization.